Hello traders and investors, I'm L.A. Little. I'm an institutional advisor, a professional trader, and the author of Neoclassical Technical Analysis. What I bring to the table on a regular basis is 3 decades of teaching and trading experience. Using the methods that I pioneered and have written about extensively, I show you and help you to understand the market via its testing process. I appreciate you being there and helping me to help others in their journey to become successful traders and investors. And so if you find value, like, subscribe, hit your alert button, and share. Hey there, it's about an hour into trading here on 3-5, and what we got is a big strong push to start the day. They took it right up here, and now they're heading back down. Now the key area is right here, right? These swing point lows. These haven't been broken yet. If they break these, it's an issue, right? Because this whole situation over here on the day, the weekly, right, is going to start to break down and try to go after that swing point low. So that's the risk. But you don't see the real weakness here. The real weakness is elsewhere. And I want to bring up the Dow, right? This is, and I know this is a different weighting structure and all that, and I understand that. But here's a swing point low. I've already talked about if you break these 2 swing point lows, which they've tried to do a couple times, and today they're doing it, right? Assuming it holds. Right? They're going to go after these 2. If they can break those 2, they're breaking this one as well. So they're breaking a weekly and they're breaking dailies all at the same time, simultaneous. That means they're going to try and get some push to the downside as a result. Now, is the Dow going to move everything else? Probably not. But inside that, right, you've got another issue, and that issue is the XLF. And so let me pull that one up. And I'll show you what I'm talking about there, because I think the XLF is what's causing a lot of the weakness in the Dow. But the XLF is a key one, right? Heavy weighting in the indexes, and they're trying to break it down on the weekly. It's already broken over here, right? It's just a question of, is it going to extend to the downside, right? And now it's trying. It's not there yet, but it gets there. 51.10, 51.05, I believe is the other one, right? And they're trading at about 51.19. So they're right there. They're trying to break it down. If that breaks on the weekly, and we've only got a couple days to go, but they're weak again today. If that breaks on the weekly, they're going to go after this, and they're going to go right after the bottom of this bullish retest region that it's been doing several times. Given that it's been tested as many times as it has, it's probably not going to hold, this time down. Maybe it does for a little bit, but it probably eventually is going to break, right? And that's a bigger deal because XLF has a lot of weighting. The other one that's at risk is the XLK. Right now, it's getting a bid, right, as you can see, but they've tried to break this one down as well, and they haven't been able to. You can see there's a swing point low there as well if it turns. So there's a lot of action taking place out here that's a bit dangerous in my opinion. I'm still, short term, I'm still sideways to bearish. I think this market's at a lot of risk. And so I think you have to be concerned about where we are and where we're heading. There's a lot of uncertainty out here, right? It hasn't changed. And that uncertainty is driving this action. And that's an issue. I had a reader or a viewer request, wanted to look at Palantir, so let me pull that one up. And the question was, is this thing going to come back? They had some or sold some of it or whatever. And, the issue was, will it come back, right? My take is it probably will. This is getting a boost out of the war because I think that, I don't know all the details on the fundamental side, but I think that the war effort is helping them because, they're fairly good at what they do and they have a lot of contracts with the military. So on the weekly here, actually, let me blow it up so you can see it better. I'll throw the weekly up first. On the weekly, it had broken down twice, right? That's those arrows. This was the break and this was the break. Well, as you come back up, you're retesting those. This is the key area right here. If it does not turn and head back down, then this thing is probably put in a bottom, right? And it's going to work its way back up. And so I think that's the bigger issue in terms of, is it going to go down or not? It should try to come back, but it doesn't necessarily have to. It's a strong stock. Where would it come back to? This retest regen is where it should come back to. I think this little area right here is the key area. So somewhere around 137, 138. Yeah, 138, 137. That would be my take as to where it would try to come back to if it does. But watch the weekly, right? That's the one. If it closes over, let me give you the numbers, 161.15, and where's the other one here? Let me blow it back up. 161.15, and the other one is over here, 155.68. It's trading at 155 now, 154. So strong stock, wants to hold. Last one I want to look at is AVGO. Now Broadcom is tech sector, chips, a lot of action with them on earnings here. They got a nice pop up here, and the problem is, of course, is that they're doing a bearish retest regen. And now the good thing about it is it's been retested several times. So if they can get over this, right, that would be a good thing. Now look at what's happened already, and I'll blow this one up as well to make the view easier for you. But what has happened before is there was a break here, right? It broke on this one. And then what they do, they came back up and they blew it out, right? There was a break on this one right here. What did they do? They blew that one out right there. And so, Broadcom, even though it came back down, it hasn't broken any more swing point lows. You can see there's no arrows on the way down here. And so what they're doing now is they're coming back up again to test this area. And this is the last big bar. And so if you get over this, I think Broadcom's probably got a low end. If you don't, right, then this was just sideways and a continuation to down despite, or maybe it's just going to be a consolidation still, right? But it could be a continuation to the downside because you can't break the big stuff, which is over here. If it does get over this, right, this area, right, then you're going to try and push to this gap area. That would be the way I would read this thing. And that's Broadcom. All right, my take here, I'm still short term, sideways to bearish. I think the XLF and I think the Dow is what you've got to watch. Those two are the drivers right now, primarily XLF, which is driving the Dow to a great degree. You're getting a bounce in your SaaS stocks, right? Amazon, and not so much Amazon, but like CRM, IBM, Microsoft, some of the others that have been beaten down, right? They're coming back in. They look quote unquote cheap. Everything looks cheap at some point until it doesn't. And when you go down fast and furious, you're going to get a bounce, and that's what's happening there. And until we see something more, that's all you can assume. That's where we're at. Have a great one. I'll see you next time.